You the Pete Nakos report yesterday, and then the agent and family said Nakos that was incorrect. Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava, amid reports that he wanted to renegotiate his NIL deal, did not show up at Friday morning's practice, sources tell ESPN, and it was a surprise to Tennessee's staff members and players. Nico's reps denied Thursday there was any renegotiations talk going on. And Brown brought it up when we brought it up that the dad says, hey, it's not true. And Nico's had said, I trust this source with my life. Practice today, the quarterback is not there.
Well, look, I believe Chris Lowe. He is one of the most accurate reporters out there. He was the first to drop the Nick Saban story. We remember that. Speaking of Nick Saban, this is why he's no longer coaching. Situations like that. This shows you the players have all of the power, 100%. When you have a starting quarterback, again, that didn't blow anybody away, 300-yard passing career game, and this guy is, it looks to be, holding this team possibly hostage.
Yeah, first three responses underneath from the Chris Lowe story, and I checked their bylines. They're all Tennessee fans. Hazelwood, let him walk. This show needs to end. Keith, what a blank. Let him walk. And then it just continues.
I said, hey, kick rocks if you've got somebody that is somewhat close.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to have a disaster situation. You don't want to have the I hate to bring him up by name, but Brandon Avalos, remember when he got the start against Georgia?
And that was because of injury on top of injury, right?
But if you don't have depth in the quarterback room, which I would assume that Josh Heupel does by now, but you brought up who was the backup quarterback right now?
That was in Florida. That was Harrison Bailey, the former Tennessee quarterback. See, so here's the thing. Like, if you're the dad and you're going to do this whole, this guy's a B word and none of this is true.
Right.
You make sure your son knows, with all this out there, if you got to miss practice, make sure the coaches know.
That's right.
I mean, don't miss practice or something like that, and don't give somebody a heads up because you know what it's going to look like, right? I mean, if you want to sell me that this narrative isn't a true narrative, this is all being blown out of proportion, the one way you don't sell me on that is miss practice and not give my coaches a heads up.
I don't even like when, and I understand it at the NFL, and I guess we've got to kind of start to process this and understand it at this level. But when guys hold out in training camp at the NFL level, I don't like it.
I don't either, and I'm with you. If there's ever a situation where my team could just let him go, I'm always in favor of let him go. I want to roll with the people that want to be there.
Yeah.
And
man,
I think if I was a Tennessee fan, I just don't know how good he is. I think I would rather roll the dice.
So can you imagine the leverage a guy like Cam Ward would have had? I mean, we remember Miami living like, a cat with 9 lives, coming back every single week, and it ultimately burned them. But Cam Ward was out there, like, doing amazing things, and one of the reasons he's going to go number 1 overall to Tennessee. But this isn't the situation with Nico, and maybe he's got incredible upside. I mean, he is 6'6". That's something you can't coach. He's got a live arm, but I just haven't seen enough that he could hold an entire program like Tennessee potentially hostage for millions more on top of what he's already getting.
Yeah, I would say, Carson Beck may be open for negotiation, but I saw last night on TikTok he and his girl are still together.
Really? He's back with the Cavender?
Yeah, they were dancing in the kitchen together on TikTok last night. So
love does not die.
So Miami football is in good hands right now.
Yes.
There are certain programs that I guess we're not going to settle the quarterback competitions here in the spring, but is Ty Simpson not from Tennessee? Isn't that where his dad coaches high school?
Yeah, his dad coaches college, Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, Tennessee Tech, somewhere there. Okay. So I'm just
UT
saying
UT Martin.
There are some quarterback battles that are going on that whoever doesn't win that one, there may be somebody available in the portal. Now, you may be battling Florida, who's now got a bum shoulder quarterback for a guy.
That's true.
There may be.
I really would almost rather have the unlimited eligibility. Like a guy like Hendon Hooker was so good in this system. Like, if you're a Tennessee fan, let's keep this guy until he's 30.
Did they not sign? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I would rather have that situation than a guy like Nico, doing everything he can to get more money from the program.
Did they not sign the next great quarterback in the last signing class?
They probably did.
Check
me
the
one second.
Tennessee for me there.
I'm a little surprised that those Tennessee fans didn't say, let's go on and bring on whoever that is.
George McIntyre, is that the kid you're talking about?
I don't
that
know.
was who
I
they
just-
signed.
I just remember
the kid
them
out of
signing
Brentwood.
a 4 or 5 star quarterback.
That is him.
He's
yeah.
4-star. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
far from.
I wonder, is he on campus? Do you know? Is there a way of knowing?
I could. He's enrolled. Yeah, it says he's
Yeah.
enrolled.
Don't think
yeah.
you want to put everything in his hands right now.
Well, I was going to say. I mean, if it were. I'm kind of with Lance. I still don't know that we know what we're going to get out of Arch Manning. But if it were an Arch Manning-like situation, okay, maybe I do this. George McIntyre is not that type of situation now. He could be a better quarterback than Arch Manning. I do not know. We haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't. Bryce Young would be a better example, okay? I think everybody at Alabama felt confident Bryce Young could have played, but they also thought Mac Jones was really good and they weren't going to lose Bryce Young.
I
But
think
when you saw Bryce Young, you're like, yeah, that kid could have played last year too.
it would be fascinating to have a truthful conversation with Heupel, like really what's going on, what he really believes the upside for Nico is, and how much is he worth? Is it going to get to a point, and this is going to happen, I'm not saying it happens in Tennessee, it will happen sooner than later, where somebody will let a starting quarterback walk because they don't have the NIL. They're just like, hey, we don't have that number.
Or you're exceeded our number and we're more comfortable going
Yep.
with our backup. Not that either one of these would happen, but we're at a situation where Auburn and Alabama signed 2 of the best quarterbacks in college football, and they're both prospective backups this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're how close are we to the point where the big signee goes through spring football, is projected to be the backup for a whole season, hits this open spring portal after that?
Oh, you know somebody like for Deuce or Russell, they make that call. Hey, look, I heard you were paying Nico. You know, he wants 4. You were going to pay him 3. We'll take 2.7. We'll send our guy right over.
Don't you think Heupel has gained the capital, though, to tell the kid to pound sand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Playoff team last year.
Now, like Napier
I give
is,
Heupel much more credit last year than I do Nico.
Yeah, it's in different situations, obviously, but Napier are different, deals. But Napier's doesn't have that luxury. Like, I mean, he probably is hoping DJ Lagway does everything he can to play. But I mean, Heupel could tell this guy to, as you said, to pound rocks, and or pound sand, kick rocks, whichever one it is. And if he if he has an 8-4 season, the fans will get a little bit upset, but I think your normal fan will understand what happened.
Yeah, here comes another problem. You talk about that 8-4 season. Let's say that Nico gets what he wants, and then he comes back and he underperforms. Can you imagine how
boos?
critical? Yeah, Tennessee fans, and rightfully so.
Oh, yeah, because used to, you don't boo the college kids, and then fans would boo, and they're, well, we were booing the coaches, we weren't booing the kids. Like, yeah, right.
Well, now that son of a bitch,
Well,
I
yeah,
gave you $50
no.
of my money to the NIL.
If the kid's making $2 or $3 million, boo right away.
Yeah, my youngest kid can't come to the game with me because I gave it to Nico.
Yeah, I know.